Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty.
When this email, sent to Epstein by an unknown redacted person, was released in the latest EFTA update, it sparked widespread disgust. And one big question: why was the sender's name redacted? After digging into the surrounding context, I found multiple pieces of evidence suggesting a specific individual may be behind the redaction. In this video, I'll break down what I found and explain the context surrounding the message. If you look at the other emails Epstein received that same day, you'll see this wasn't the only message thanking him for the night. In this message from Erin Cunningham, she mentions the Hasty Pudding happening in the Allen Room. The Hasty Pudding Institute of 1770 is an organization affiliated with Harvard University, known for its theatrical traditions and annual honors. That year, it held its Order of the Golden Sphinx Gala at the Allen Room in Jazz at Lincoln Center's Frederick P. Rose Hall in New York City. The files reveal that Epstein was one of the organization's most significant donors, even after he was publicly known as a convicted sex offender. His donor status offered him a table at the Order of the Sphinx Gala each year from 2013. Sometime before the event, he exchanges emails with his assistant Leslie Groff, where he asks her to invite his female assistants, which they call girls. In a later email, we can see Leslie telling the girls that Jojo would drive them to the event. Notice also the following.
Sony, can you please coordinate with Erin Cunningham? Most of you are at 301?
We already knew Erin was at the event from the mail, where she thanked Jeffrey, but who is Sony? 301 refers to 301 East 66th Street, a residency in New York owned by Epstein. In Juliette Bryante's trial, one of Epstein's victims, 3 residents of 301 are mentioned, among them Sonia Gordion, sometimes also called Sony Gordion in the files. Sonia Gordion's email ends up visible in the files due to inconsistent redaction. And when you compare different copies of the Littlest Girl email, you can spot additional redaction errors, including hints that the sender's name begins with an S and that the address is a Gmail account. Putting in Sonia Gordion's information, we get a perfect match. In another email where Sony is mentioned, we learn that she was 35 years old in 2017, meaning she was 32 when she sent the Littlest Girl email. In fact, Sonia Gordion isn't young. She's quite literally little. She, however, looks young, as this other email testifies. We can see here that the email information matches the one from the Littlest Girl email. Side note, it also appears that Sonia Gordion may have sent Epstein another disturbing email, one in which she seemingly gives him permission to kill someone. Her role in all of this remains deeply ambiguous. She worked as an assistant to Epstein, yet she also appears in records as someone who may have been exploited herself. She was later accused of recruiting an underage girl for Epstein and being present during an assault, but she ultimately won a defamation case against her accusers. Now, it is clear that Sonia is talking about herself in the email, but there's more to this story I want to talk about. What Sonia is referring to in her email likely didn't happen at the gala itself, but at the after-party later that night at the Hudson Hotel. The after-party is also mentioned in another email from that day, sent by Andrew L. Farkas, the gala's organizer, known within the group as the Grand Sphinx. Here's a picture of him with Epstein that you might have seen in my previous video. If not, go watch it. In that message, it becomes harder to argue that the girls were there merely as regular guests.
Take good care of my puppies.
I will miss you. Your puppies will have a ball.
This same repugnant language appears again in emails exchanged between the same 2 individuals ahead of the 2016 Order of the Golden Sphinx Gala. In those messages, Sonia is described as Farkas's favourite, and he admits to having a crush on her. She's also mentioned, though not by name, in emails ahead of New Year's Eve 2015. In 2013, Andrew Farkas also mentioned wanting the services of one of Epstein's massage therapists on Little St. James. Today, It's well established that Epstein's so-called massage system was a pipeline for sexual abuse. Farkas was already aware of the trafficking accusations against Epstein at the time, as shown by this 2010 exchange. Andrew Farkas stated that his relationship with Epstein was entirely professional, about the American Yacht Harbor complex, a marina they owned together. While it's true that many of their conversations revolved around the American Yacht Harbor, the two also appeared to be genuinely close. The emails shown so far suggest that Farkas was only a client of Epstein's trafficking network, but this 2016 email suggests something different. Epstein asks,
I looked under the tree. No present?
Don't worry. Good things come to those who wait.
Or wait to come?
This is much of a challenge for you.
You mean the waiting part, I presume.
These barely veiled sexual allusions seem to suggest that Farkas is about to provide a woman to Epstein. However, a couple of days later, he sends another email to Epstein.
I failed in my last mission. My friend didn't like the idea of being passed around and no longer speaks with me. I owe you one.
The following year, another email shows Epstein asking Farkas about 4 different things. The last item is just one word, Bulgarian. Farkas answers,
Delicious.
The very next day, another email makes it clear they weren't talking about food. A couple of months later, they exchange another email about a gift, and Farkas names a Bulgarian model, 22 years old at the time. Epstein's recruitment pipeline was closely tied to model agencies, especially in Central Europe. With that in mind, the subtext is hard to miss. In 2011, Harvard's new college theatre was renamed Farkas Hall in honor of the billionaire's generous donations. There's far more that could be said about Farkas and the Order of the Sphinx, from his sex video lawsuit or outstanding names showing up at Epstein's table. Other Harvard-affiliated figures also appear in some very strange emails in the files. Let me know in the comments what you want me to investigate next. And if you don't want to miss future findings, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.